So a lot of the stuff I have in my calculator already. Remember that this is you knowing how to use your calculator more than anything else. So you would put your stuff, your data in stat edit. Okay. Mine is there already. You also see the number 3. Ignore that for right now. So put your x's in L1, your y's in L2. Go into stat, calculate, find that linear regression. I have mine already stored. And it's going to be a bunch of decimals, which I actually had somewhere written out. That scared me, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so it asks you to round to 2 decimal places, so 4.42x plus 105.85. Y equals 4.42x plus 105.85. For that one, that is all it asks you to do is find the line of best fit or your linear regression equation. It actually says curve of best fit, but that means the same thing. Even though this didn't really curve, but that's okay. So this would be the equation that best fits this data, not all of it, but to the. And then the last one asks you to find the line of best fit and do something with it. Remember that when you're given years, you have to change those. So the first one would be 0. Every year after that is how many years have it been since the first one. So from here to here, it's been 4 years, and then 8, and then it keeps going backward. So you will put in 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 instead of the actual years. If you could have done a couple different things. So you could have went back into stat edit and put them back into L1 and L2. That's fine. I did not. I just put mine in L3 and L4, which is also fine. You just have to change it when you go into the stat edit. Stat calculate. So if you change the list you put it in, make sure this also changes. So in blue down here are the different list numbers, so you can change them again. So I changed mine to 3 and 4, and then I stored this. This one also has a lot of decimals. I'm going to put this as 2 decimal places as well. So 0.03x plus 1.7. Like 1.71, just so we don't have 0.7. The last part of this, it said, in which year would we expect to have 2.5 million voters? Sorry. The 2.5 million is a Y value. So you could have done one of two things. Solve this, put 2.5 in for Y and solve it for X. Or use your calculator, which is what I did. So since I stored this in my calculator, I can go into my table. We're just focused on the red one now because the blue one was. And when the table actually popped up, it was like up here somewhere. So I had to find when my Y value was 2.5, so if I keep going down this. I see that 2.518 is at x is 29. 29 is not our final answer though, because our question asks what year. It wouldn't be 2029. So since I know x is 29, and I know from the problem that we changed all of our x's to be how many years has it been since, I'm going to take 29 and I'm going to add it to 1988 to figure out what year that would be. So if I take that x value and I add it to my original year, I get the year 2017. And that would be my final answer. I know I kind of just went over that really fast. Do we have any questions on either of those?
Guys, at the end of the day, it's still a line. You know, if you look at this stuff you've done all so far this year, you got a y, you got an x, you got a slope, and you got a y-intercept. Same stuff, just a little more complex. Still looking at a line. Still looking at a slope. Still looking at a y-intercept. A little more calculation involved. But the calculator's doing it for you. It's just a matter of figuring out that being able to use the calculator to help you out.
If you do not have those notes out, grab them. There's one last thing we need to talk about for linear regression. I know there's not a whole lot of space in these notes, but find somewhere you have some space and write this down. Anywhere you have space, yeah. So as you're writing, I'm going to kind of read what it says and then explain it. So when we are dealing with sets of data, whatever, we do one of these two things. We either use interpolation or we use extrapolation. When we interpolate, we're looking for data points within a set of given data. When we extrapolate, we're looking for points outside of our given data. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of when we did either of these things. So going back to the very first example we did, when it asked us to predict the grade given for students who study for 0 hours, when I look back at this set of data, 0 was not within our set of data points. Our lowest value is 1.5, our highest value is 7. So 0 is outside of our set of data points, so we extrapolated to find that 0. I'm just going to write that down, and I'm going to show it. For the next one, when it asks about 6 hours, if I look back at that data, 6 fell within this because 1 minus 7, 6 would be in there. So 6 would be within my set of data. So we interpolated for that one. Not that huge. Really, that's all that is. Seeing, are you within the data or are you looking outside of our given data? You can also think about inter is inside, within, extra is outside. Is this one with the ears? How to find life expectancy in 2010? Would that be inside or outside of the data? It would be outside of the data. If it asks us to find like a specific year within these, like this doesn't say 1920, 1921, 22, 23, 24, it jumps. But if I said 1923, that would be within this data. That would be inside the data. 2010 is outside of the data because it stops at 2000. Okay. So it's really just, is it inside the data or is it not? Do you have any questions about that? So as you're practicing these, I would write like next to it if you extrapolated or if you interpolated to see if this was inside or outside the data. Okay. There's a couple things I need to explain. One is going to be what we're doing for class, for the rest of the class, and the other are some date changes. So you may want to write this down if you're a planner and keep those dates. I am going to change this stuff in Canvas. I just have not yet. Okay. So originally I had benchmark work planned for sometime next week, but then the benchmark would follow that. I wanted to give you guys earlier time in class, so we're going to do that today instead, benchmark work. And I'll explain how that's going to work here in a bit. So the last section of notes we need to do for this unit is going to be pushed to Monday. Wednesday, we're going to take our quiz on all 3 objectives. Friday, we barely have class because of the COVID, so I don't really know how much we're going to get done that day. The following Tuesday is your benchmark. Not all of you are taking that. It's really just those of you that need to retake, wanted to retake. But on the 26th is when we're doing that. And then on the 28th, which is that following Thursday, we would go over the quiz and take our unit 2 test. Anyone have any questions on anything I just said? So again, I'm going to change those dates in Canvas, change the dates on the board. If you want to change them in your course calendar, right on those dates, that's fine too. So for benchmark work, I'm going to pass out your unit, the last test we took. You're going to look over it. Let me know if you have any questions. I know some of you saw that already, but maybe you don't. If you want to retest that test, or if you talk to me about retesting unit 1, you're going to start that retest process in class, which is you doing test corrections. So you'll be given your test on a separate sheet of paper. You're going to write whatever you did on the original test, and then you're going to fix it for every problem you get wrong or that you get full credit on. I'm going to also give you a sheet a paper that you need to fill out that tells me which sections of whichever test you want to retake. It will also show you all the work you need to get done in order to retake. If you haven't done them already, the Khan Academies for whichever objectives. It does the math for whichever objectives. And then depending on your score, I may give you a practice for said objectives. If you are not planning on retesting, or I gave you your test and you don't need to retest, you're going to be working through this packet or through these notes some more, practicing your linear regression. Everyone can start working on that until you get your test. Does anyone have any questions about what we're doing today? You guys should start practicing in these notes if you didn't finish them last class. And then I'll pass out your tests and then we'll go from